pass the cones though, otherwise they shock you.
Sorry, lens cap. We are doing a rattlesnake show now. So many kids, so many Venomous. So anybody who thinks that kids and Venomous don't go good together, this show will give you another aspect of that.
Got a little more space right over here too.
You want to go over there, baby, or you want to be right here? You want to go over there? Or you want to be? You're good. All right. We got a pretty good audience here. Everybody that's coming to see this rattlesnake show. They are, look, her shirt striking out breast cancer.
Okay, guys, 5 minutes for the first live rattlesnake demonstration. You have 5 minutes. It's in the room to the right of the venue, through the door that says snake demonstration.
They're going to be showing these 1, 2, 3, 4 different buckets. There's the
3 minutes.
Thing. Awesome. So stay tuned, people. The coolest thing you've seen all over the ball python. I missed that. Sorry.
Look around a little bit more. Look around. Yes, easy on you. You are going to be amazed. Okay. All right. What's the coolest thing you've seen? Lots of snakes.
Lots of snakes.
All of them.
That's an awesome future herper right there.
What's the coolest thing you saw? All of it? That's the best answer.
All of it. That's the best answer any kid could give. See, children love snakes, people. It's adults that make them eventually fear them.
So far, sir? Yeah. Oh, go ahead. What's bearded dragons? Bearded dragons are pretty neat. What about you? I like your shirt. Doesn't make me trust anything you're going to say. Stand up for a second. Come here. Turn around. Everybody look at this guy's shirt.
Wow.
So, what's the coolest thing you've seen so far? The bearded dragons?
Bearded dragons.
Like
with a poop shirt.
You gotta step it up.
These people are awesome.
What's the favorite thing you've seen? You held, oh yeah, you held the anaconda. Snuggles is awesome. Right?
Snuggles. He'll hug you.
All right, for those of you that are crowded on the door, there's some room over on the sides too, so people can still come and get in. And again, we could squeeze in some more kids here too.
Let's get over here, son. Let's get over here. There's some kids. There's some. Here, sit up a little bit. Come here. Let them kids through.
What's the coolest thing?
You get over here.
Snuggles? Yeah.
Alright, we're good.
Pretty neat.
Don't get as many kids up here. Yeah, there's a bunch of kids back there. They need to see.
Alright. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Adrian, and I brought with me a couple of the scariest critters that you can find in the entire state of Texas. This is my wife, Laura, and my teenage son, Jacob. So, we also brought some snakes with us today, but we are with the Texas Reptile Conservation Outreach. So what we like to do is we like to go around and teach people about the animals that live in their area. So today, we're going to show you some animals. Most of these animals you can find right out around here in Lake Charles. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to ask you guys some questions about them. And hopefully you guys ask us some questions too, because I give this presentation about 300 times a year. So your questions make it more interesting for me. Okay?
That's awesome. A kid's questions about venomous.
So we're going to take on a couple snakes here. And I want you to tell me if you could tell me which these snakes are. Alright, who's got a guess on this one right here? Yes, with the red snake around your neck. That's a venomous one? That's a good guess? That's a good guess, yes. Okay, which one of these two is actually venomous? Who could tell? Yes, right there with the pickle in his mouth. You think which one? The little one right there? You're very right. Okay, this one over here is a cottonmouth. Very common snake here in the south. Not a cottonmouth, copperhead. Wow. Thank you. My bad.
Wow.
Copperhead.
Cottonmouth. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You can tell this snake from other snakes because it has those Hershey kisses on the side.
Shit, I'm sorry.
So if you see Hershey kisses on the side of the snake, don't mess with it. It's not too sweet. This guy here, obviously, is a non-venomous snake. This is a Texas rat snake. This guy right here is most often confused with this guy right here. I'll often get a lot of calls. People saying, hey, I've got a copperhead on my property. It ends up being this rat snake right here. Now, rat snakes are really useful in the ecosystem because guess what they
eat? Not even watching it. Messing
you
with
guys
it.
must be the GT first.
These
guys here eat a lot of rats. They're also one of the largest snakes in the south. They can get to be over 7 feet long. Sometimes you're going to hear these guys called a chicken snake. Okay? Because they do like to hang around chicken coops and eat the eggs. Now the copperhead here is also a very useful predator. They love to eat rodents as well. Does anybody tell me why rodents are a bad deal? Why are rodents bad? Disease. Very good. You must have some experience with that. All right. Disease. They also chew up your wires in your house. So snakes are a good, chew up the wires of the truck. I had to fix that in my Tundra a couple of weeks ago. So having these snakes around is actually a very, very good thing. Now the copperhead here, he relies mostly on his camouflage in order to keep him safe from predators. He likes to blend in to the leaf litter. Now these guys are a venomous snake. But I do want to let you know they're not going to kill you, okay? Venomous snakes in the U.S. actually are very, very mild compared to the rest of the world. The snakes in the United States will not kill you, but they're going to ruin your day. Definitely ruin your bank account. The average cost of a venomous snake bite in the U.S. is about $60,000 to treat. So, kids, if you're like the second or especially the third kid, just be real careful when you play outside, okay? All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Any questions about those guys? Well, we're taking out a couple other snakes.
On that too, with a pygmy rattlesnake.
Between a rat snake and a copperhead, look for those Hershey kisses on the side. Rat snakes are generally going to be very large, like this one here. They do both like to climb. Now you can see Jacob is actually touching this rat snake with his hands. I do not recommend anybody go pick up a rat snake with your hands or any wild snake because generally they're going to bite you. Now even if it's a non-venomous snake, it can still hurt. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at these guys right here. These are a couple of snakes that often get mistaken for each other. Oh, yeah, let's step at me. Alright. Can we guess what these snakes are? Yes, in the horizontally striped shirt. What do you think? Take a wild guess. It's not a giraffe. Very good. Alright, yes.
That's cool.
Go ahead. What's that? Deadly? I have no deadly snakes here. Yes. That is a cottonmouth. Very good. This one here is a cottonmouth, also known as a water moccasin. This one here, as Jacob is demonstrating, is a non-venomous snake. This one is a water snake. We have several different species of water snakes around here. They have a bad time here in the south because everybody thinks that every dark snake that they see around the water is one of these guys right here. Now, cottonmouths, also known as water moccasins, generally, when they are afraid, what they're going to do, and you're not going to be able to see this in back, but I'll describe it, is they'll sit there, they'll open up their mouth. There you go. Okay. Open up their mouth. They're going to show that white lining of their mouth. Because that's a warning saying, hey, don't step on me or we're both going to have a bad day. Another behavior that they do is actually rattle their tail. Now, they're not a rattlesnake, even though they're closely related to rattlesnake. But when they rattle that tail, that's a visual warning to a potential predator saying, hey, don't mess with me. See that rattle? He's got his mouth open and that rattle. Again, these are a venomous snake, just like the copperhead, where they're a very close cousin of the copperhead. Now the water snakes here, the easiest way to tell a water snake from a cottonmouth is if you look really closely. You can see some vertical stripes on the lips of the water snake. Okay? Now, most of the time I'm going to tell people, if you're that close, you're too close already. Okay? If there's a snake outside, leave it alone. Whether you know what it is or not, you want to leave snakes alone outside because they're just doing snake stuff. They're not trying to hurt you. These cottonmouths here have a horrible reputation in the South. Everybody has a cousin's, uncle's, best friends who jumped off a dock into a pile of these guys and died. Never happened. Okay? Everybody's been chased by one of these guys. Never happened. Alright? Some of you guys in here are thinking, well, I was chased by one. You weren't. You were going one direction, the snake happened to be going the other way. It's kind of like when you're in the mall or out here when it's these busy hallways. Just because you're about ready to run into a guy doesn't mean that guy's trying to tackle you. You just have to be going the opposite direction. What these guys again will do is they will sit there, they'll hold their mouth open as a warning. Water snakes, like this here, and most snakes, they have an incredible defensive technique. It's called pooping in your mouth. Alright? They'll musk when they get scared. And the reason they do that is because if a predator, like a raccoon, goes and picks up a nice, juicy looking snake, and they musk in the mouth, which is going to the bathroom, most raccoons are going to put it down. I don't know about that guy over there. But everybody else will put them down. So it's a very good defense. Again, I don't urge you to pick up any wild snakes like Jacob is doing here. They can bite. We just happen to break our non-venomous because they don't see us as a threat anymore. All right. Any questions about these guys before we move on to some other critters? Yes, sir. Rat snake being, yes. The rat snakes, depending on where you are in the United States, they could be anywhere from black. Those are mostly in the northern states. And down in Florida, they could be yellow or even orange. But they're all very closely related. In Texas, Louisiana, and even a bit into Alabama, there'll be that gray color, and you can see some red and orange speckling in that. Yes, sir. Don't tell me that. You don't want to kill the snake. What was the snake doing to you?
It helps.
Okay. Yeah, snakes, having snakes even on your property is actually a very useful thing. It helps keep the vermin down. But if you don't want snakes around your property, the best thing to do is move to Alaska. There's no snakes in Alaska. Okay, if you can't do that, if you keep your property nice and clean and clear, you want to clean up the areas where their prey items are going to be hiding out. If you have a pond on your property, you're going to have snakes, just the way it is. But if you have wood piles, if you have cars from the 70s that have been parked in your yard, you might want to clean those up a little bit. Okay, if you listen really closely right now, can you hear that? All right. That is a rattlesnake. Now this is one of a couple of the different species that you have here in Louisiana. This one here is a canebrake rattlesnake, also known as a timber rattlesnake. This is a very large, heavy-bodied snake. Sometimes you'll hear them called a velvet tail because they have a very dark black tail. Okay? They're really special to us over in Texas because they're actually protected by the state due to habitat destruction. As the cities in Texas keep getting bigger and bigger, they're getting a lot of the pine forest where these guys like to live is being destroyed. So these guys are in a protected status in Texas.
Nice.
Here in Louisiana, you do have a much healthier population of these ones here. Does anybody know why a rattlesnake rattles. Who can tell me why? Who can tell me why? Right there.
Because they're trying to tell you don't get near me or else I'll bite you.
Very good. It is a warning. They do not rattle because they are mean. They're probably the most polite snake in the world because they give you a last-minute warning to say, hey, leave me alone or I'm going to bite you, like you said. Okay? They do not rattle if they are hunting. That'd be like sitting up in the deer stand listening to Tupac. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay? They only rattle to let you know that they're there. Most of the time, they're going to depend on their very good camouflage and try to hide from you. Now again, this is another type of rattlesnake. This one we do not have here in Louisiana. This is the most widespread snake that we have in Texas. This is a western diamondback rattlesnake. And this one is actually really special to us because this is the one that gets damaged the most with rattlesnake roundups. Anybody ever heard of a roundup before? Can you tell us what a roundup is?
When they actually go party type thing.
Yep. In several cities in Texas and also in Oklahoma, and other places around the country, they have roundups where they actually collect tens of thousands of these snakes from the wild purely for the entertainment of the slaughter of these snakes. Okay, they'll actually, there's not another festival anywhere in the United States that is similar to this where they take an animal from the wild and actually slaughter it and mistreat it in front of people. Okay, we are all for sustainable harvest. If you want to go collect some snakes and eat them, that's fine. They are delicious. However, we are not about the spectacle of the slaughter. So we are definitely an anti-roundup organization. What we do is put on demonstrations like this and actually whole shows and events to talk about the benefits of snakes like the western diamondback rattlesnake. Now you can hear it rattle.
He's pretty scary one. I don't blame you. Start with you.
Does anybody know what to do when if you hear a rattlesnake rattle? Yes. What?
Sarah Snake Dig and save your life.
Very good, very good. You want to walk away. You don't want to run because if you run, you might run right into the rattlesnake, or you could possibly run into a tree. The first thing you want to do is you want to see if you can see where that snake is. These rattlesnakes generally don't start rattling until you're about 3 feet away. Okay. She has to get very close for that rattle. So if you are very close, you want to look around, see if you can spot the snake, and then slowly leave the way that you came in. Yes, sir.
Question.
Yes.
If you ever do come across a rattlesnake, what happens if you don't move and just stay there for a while?
Well, it might be a standing there for a while competition.
Will it eventually attack you?
No, it will not attack you. These snakes will never attack you because that would be like me going after a semi-truck. It just is not going to work. Okay? They would not be around for so many years if their first instinct was to attack something that's 1,000 times larger than they are. No offense, anyway. These guys here, these snakes, they want to defend themselves. So if you approach them, whether on purpose or an accident, then they will bite. Okay? But you don't want to mess with them. You don't just want to stand there because you just want to back away, find another way to get to where you're going, and then everybody will be okay. Okay. There's all sorts of other uses of these snakes as well. Snake venom is being used to study all sorts of different illnesses and sicknesses right now. It's being used in cancer research for breast cancer. The copperhead venom is being used for that. It's also being used for things like diabetes, for blood clotting, for Alzheimer's. On my shirt.